Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, motorcyclist dies after crashing into utility pole. A motorcyclist has succumbed to injuries he sustained when his motorbike crashed into a utility pole on Sunday in St. Elizabeth. He is 33-year-old Omar Roach, a farmer of Ridge District, Junction, St. Elizabeth. About 4:30 p.m., Roach was reportedly riding his motorcycle along the roadway in Neef Mountain when he lost control of the motorcycle and hit the utility pole. He suffered severe injuries and was taken to the Black River Hospital, where he died. The Junction police are conducting an investigation into the matter. Police seized $15 million in Hanover, charged the 3 alleged lottery scammers. The Jamaica Constabulary Forces Anti-Lottery Scam Unit says it seized about $15 million in cash during operations in Hanover between June 12 and 14. The seizures were made under its Scam Done, Justice Run initiative. The JCF's Corporate Communications Unit says 4 people were arrested after ALSU personnel carried out more than 30 raids in Top Hill, Newtown, Sandy Bay, and other areas of the parish. 3 of them have since been charged with breaches of the Law Reform, Fraudulent Transactions, Special Provisions Act. They are 21-year-old Maurice Campbell of Top Hill, Sandy Bay, 21-year-old Tajri Jones of Top Hill, Sandy Bay, and 22-year-old Shamar Forbes, otherwise called Tyrone, of Lucy. CCU says 3 imitation firearms and 11 high-end motor vehicles were also seized in the operations. Head of the ALSU, Deputy Superintendent of Police Dave Brown, reaffirmed his team's commitment to disrupting the lottery scam. These operations are not only about the seizures and arrest, but it's about systematically dismantling the financial infrastructure that is being built from this trade, said DSP Brown. Since the start of the initiative on June 5, more than $40 million in cash has been seized, along with several high-end vehicles and other lottery scamming paraphernalia. The police are urging citizens to share information and report individuals participating in the illicit lottery scam trade by contacting CTOC at 876-967-1389, the National Intelligence Bureau at 811, Crime Stop at 311, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Jamaica Council of Churches cautions against the removal of Auditor General from IC. The Jamaica Council of Churches says the removal of the Auditor General as a commissioner of the Integrity Commission at this time would represent a symbolic retreat from accountability. In a statement Friday, the church group weighed in on the discussion, arguing that the proposal to excise the Auditor General from the Commission does not appear to comport with good governance or good reason, particularly amid the incomplete and unresolved investigations. On Wednesday, government members of the Joint Select Committee of Parliament reviewing the Integrity Commission Act used their majority to push through a recommendation for a change in the rules that make the Auditor General a commissioner of the Integrity Commission. Speaking with the news on Monday, JCC President Reverend Christine Gooden-Benguch emphasized that the removal of the Auditor General, who is the moral compass of the public service, would be dangerous.
Accountability is key because we are operating, or have been for quite some time, operating within a low trust environment. That's where we are in this nation. And because we are operating from a low trust environment, it is important that we highlight, underscore, initiate those things that will build, not weaken, that will strengthen, not disintegrate the system that we have, that helps to build the trust again, rebuild the trust of the Jamaican people. Yes, change is needed at times, but one of the things that we have to look at when they looked at this over 50 years ago, I think 1973, somewhere there, when this was done, the framework, those who assisted in the framework of this, they must have thought for some reason that it was important that we had the AG in this position.
Monday's surprise storm caused by trough and a low-level jet stream. The gust of wind that lifted roofs, knocked off power and sent pedestrians scurrying for cover on Monday was caused by a trough and a low-level jet stream that have been affecting the island over the last 2 weeks. A video circulating on social media showed disturbed containers at one of the island's ports in Kingston. Ainsworth Sadler, duty forecaster, told the news that what occurred was a squall associated with an era of thunderstorm where you would have rapid increase in wind speeds and it is sustained for a brief period of time. He said the weather phenomenon occurred across the southeast coast, but later was also felt in the northwestern section of the island and was evident at the Sanctuary International Airport in Montego Bay,
where you'd have rapid increase in wind speeds and it is sustained for a brief period of time. So this occurred across the southeast coast today, and it actually propagated to different parishes today. Up to this time, it was also experienced across the northwest, that's across like the Sanctuary International Airport. So this is pretty much typical feature for this time of year, where you have occasional troughs coming in, and once you have these thunderstorm cells popping up in different places, then associated with them is normally some strong wind.
With the storm causing significant electricity disruptions, the Jamaica Public Service said it is working feverishly to restore power to approximately 20,000 of the 50,000 customers affected by outages. Blaine Jarrett, Senior Vice President for Energy Delivery at the GPS, said the weather event brought unusually strong winds, which caused sporadic outages in several communities across Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon and Manchester.
The network was primarily impacted by flying objects, zings and other loose objects that made contact with our lines and create outages. What we saw then was there was a gradual moving across the country, all the way from St. Thomas east going west along the southern coast. All right, there is a big challenge when you have these type of squall, in that these outages are not permanent. They are transient in nature, but they impact a lot of customers. So then we saw about 50,000 customers being impacted. Where we are now, we have been able to restore the majority of those customers, and at this stands now we have just about 20,000 customers that remain out.
The power company is urging members of the public to exercise caution, especially around the fallen wires, and to report outages or hazards using the GPS mobile app, website, or customer care center at 888-CALL-JPS. Suspended cop shot dead during robbery in Montego Bay. Investigators were last night on a murder scene on Barnett Street in the heart of downtown Montego Bay, St. James, where a suspended member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force was shot and killed during a robbery at a business establishment. The identity of the deceased has not yet been released by the police. The suspended cop was believed to have been hired as a security guard at the business establishment. His licensed firearm is also believed to have been stolen by the armed robbers, who made off with an unknown amount of cash. The Montego Bay police are investigating the incident. More details to come. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.